Hello, hello, everybody. Happy Monday. I hope you guys are having such an amazing day. It has been a full plate of possibilities here inside my office today and at my home. Um, so funny. Just quickly, my husband, he always asks me every single morning, so are you busy today? Are you busy today? And I'm like, I got a full plate of possibilities. So lots of cool stuff going on, coming out of an amazing weekend here in the Carolinas. I hope that you all had some really powerful golden nuggets and ahas from the training of Six Figures Made Simple last week. So much good stuff. Like, you guys have been so amazing interacting here, reaching out to me, sending me messages, telling me how much you've gotten out of it. And I'm just delighted to hear that. So if you too have gotten some amazing value out of that workshop, please let me know. I would just love to hear like what resonated for you, what landed for you, what piece do you feel like you still want support around, so that I can come back in here and do some live trainings for you. So my commitment always is to just give amazing value. Part of my intention in being a entrepreneur myself, especially a heart-centered business coach, is to always give you guys something that I feel is going to be super, super valuable for you in your business to help you create six figures and to be able to help you do that in a way that feels simple, that feels easeful. Might not always feel easy, but I want to give you some of specifics so that you know where to focus and what to focus on. And today's topic is all about what is more important than your niche. So when I first was running my business, especially when I was starting to build my health coaching practice, of course, it was what's your niche, what's your niche, what's your niche, and we have all heard the importance of niching down and making sure that you're really focused. And niche is rich and broad is broke. And while all of that is absolutely true, I want to share that there's actually something that's even more important than figuring out what your niche or niche is, however you decide that you want to pronounce it. So if that sounds good to you, if you'd like to hear more about what's more important than finding out what your niche is, type in hello so that I know that you're here. Also, let me know if you guys can hear me okay. I see that we don't have any comments yet, but I know that sometimes, you know, it's wonky, right? Facebook can be delayed. So let me know that you're here. And if you are watching live, please type in the comments #live. And if you're watching the replay, amazing, welcome back. Please type in #replay, and that will really help me kind of circle back around, because what Facebook will do is it'll give me a notification that there's been a comment, so I can come back in and I can actually make sure that all of your questions are answered. All right, so what's more important than your niche? And here's the thing, after mindset, after energetically aligning to your own worthiness, to your own value, to you are absolutely already a six-figure empowered coach, the next thing that is so, so important, that is more important, again, more important than picking the right niche, is actually your ideal client. Your ideal client, and getting really, really clear about who your ideal client is, one main ideal client, is even more important than picking a niche. Why do I say that? Because while picking a niche is great, like you could work with women entrepreneurs, you could work with stay-at-home moms, you could work with women who are retired, you could work with women who are 40 and over who are struggling to lose weight. Well, that is important to know for where your ideal client actually is. So your niche is going to be more broad, but your ideal client is so much more important, because you need to know who your ideal client is like the back of your hand, so that you know exactly what are her pain points, what does it look like for her on Pain Island, what are her pleasure points, what is the transformation that she wants. And this is really, really important. And I see a lot of wasted time and energy trying to pick the right niche, when really what's more important is go all in on your ideal client. And I've got a ninja tip for you on how to discern who your ideal client is. So many of you who have been with me for a while have heard me say that your most ideal client, most likely, I won't say 100% of the time, but most likely she is or he is a previous version of who you are today. So today I am a business coach. I'm a business coach for transformational coaches, for women wellness entrepreneurs. And I coach women who are previous versions of where I was when I was starting to build my nutritional therapy practice and a health coaching practice. So both of those things were versions of me as a wellness entrepreneur and a transformational coach. And so it's the reason why I am coaching in the manner and the way that I want to help people create success is because I know that that is what I struggled with previously, right? Like there are so many things that you feel like you've got to figure out when you're first starting your business. And I was there. I was absolutely in the wellness entrepreneur field for over 30 years. I started as a yoga teacher. And then I, homeschooled my kids, and we did a lot of really cool stuff with farming and gardening. I even taught like little classes, homeschool classes. So there was some more entrepreneurial spirit coming in there. And then I went back to school to become a massage therapist. And then I was a nutritional therapist and interwove that with my massage therapy. And then I was absolutely excited about building my transformational coaching practice, health coaching, health and life coaching practice. And from there, it naturally morphed into business coaching for women who were also interested in making an impact in lives of others. And that was something that was really, really important to me. And so I know that because it was important to me and because I struggled with some things in the beginning, I can collapse the timeline a whole heck of a lot quicker for you than you trying to actually piece things together. So this is something I really want you to take a look at and understand. You are a previous version of your ideal client. You absolutely are. And that's probably one of the reasons why you are in this industry now, right? If you are helping somebody overcome anxiety or depression, chances are you struggled with that previously and now are through it, and you've got some amazing tools and services that you can help somebody with. So the most important thing is diving in on getting really, really clear about your ideal client. Again, not just what niche is she in, but really the specifics. What is it that wakes her up at night? What is the problem? And I guarantee you that it's never just losing weight. That's never just the problem. It's also never just balancing hormones, or it's never just living an amazing life. There is always going to be some things underneath there when we take a look at the why underneath the why. So why does she want to lose weight? Why does she want to lower her anxiety? Why does she want to live her best life ever? And what does that even look like, right? So if you can get really, really clear on these two critical pieces of information, then you can create your pricing and your programming, and all of the information from these two pillars of information of Pain Island and Pleasure Island are also going to help you create your content, your marketing, and the way that you get to show up and serve with incredible value. It can also give you information about what is your ideal client looking for so that you can actually build and grow your audience. But if you don't have this piece down, then it's going to be really, really hard. You're going to be feeling like you're kind of like throwing spaghetti at the wall because you're really not sure what the pain points are, what the challenges are that she's struggling with in her words. And this is really important. We want to make sure that whenever we're speaking to our most ideal client, that we're not using coach speak, right? So the truth is everybody wants to live their best life ever, right? I don't know anybody that would say, yeah, no, I'm not really interested in living my best life ever. Everybody wants to have low stress. Nobody is like, yeah, I really want to feel more stress in my life, right? So you have to get really specific on what specifically does it look like for your most ideal client to have a lower experience of stress, and what is that going to allow her to do in her life? Or what does it look like for her to live her best life ever? For example, most of my clients that I work with inside Activate Abundance or even one-on-one, they want to be well paid. They want a six-figure business, but they want to be able to do that in a way that feels really good and aligned with who they are without feeling salesy, without giving away their time and energy in these free 1-hour discovery sessions that never go anywhere. They really want to be able to build a business that allows them also to pay off debt or travel or go on vacations or spend more time with their families, right? Like all of this is what it looks like on Pleasure Island. So the pain points that I know I struggled with was, who is my ideal client? I'm not 100% sure. And it wasn't until I really got that my ideal client was a previous version of me that I could then hone in. I also really struggled with, whenever I was inviting somebody to work with me, I spoke a lot about logistics and not necessarily what was the transformation. So whenever you're creating an offer for somebody, or you've got a program, or you're inviting somebody to work with you, they're not looking to hear all about the 90-day program and you're going to meet for 1 hour. It's going to go for 12 sessions. Like those are what I like to call the logistical pieces. What your person is most concerned about is what is in it for them. What is the transformational result that they're going to walk away with? And this is what we call our program promise. This is what we actually teach inside of Activate Abundance. We get you really, really clear on your ideal client, your program promise. What is she struggling with on Pain Island? What does she want more of on Pleasure Island? And how to word that so that she can actually raise her hand in your world, and you can attract her into your world by the words that you're using and the way that you serve and give value to her. And then you can nurture her along that client pathway that we talked about in day 2 in the 6 Figures Made Simple, so that she actually gets an experience of you. She knows that you hear her, you see her. There's an experience of know, like, trust that has been built. So that is what I got for you today. This is going to be a short and sweet live training today because it's so juicy. And I really want you to spend some time thinking about, who is that one client? Not a gazillion clients. Like, think about one main ideal client. If you're having a hard time with that, then here's something else that I want to give you a little bit of relief for. Your ideal client, when you pick an ideal client, that doesn't mean that you can only work with that client. I want to say that again. When you come up with your ideal client avatar, when you know who your ideal client is, that doesn't mean that you can only work with that one ideal client. What it means is that your program promise, your content, your marketing, the programs that you invite them to work with you in are going to be geared towards your ideal client 80% of the time. There's always going to be a certain number of outliers, and we think about that as being the 20%. So for example, I work with women. That doesn't mean that I won't work with a man who is in the entrepreneurship and wants to build his wellness business. It's just that right now, 100% of my clients are women. So it doesn't mean that I wouldn't serve them in that way. It just means that my content, my service, my value, my freebies, everything that I want to share and give and speak into is going to be geared towards women who are transformational coaches and who are wellness entrepreneurs, because that is a previous version of who I was. Again, that doesn't mean that I can't work with somebody outside of that, but I reserve that for making sure that, for example, if somebody wanted me to support them in, I don't know, let me just pick something out of that, real estate. Sure, I could help her get a business up and running, and I help her create an online business, but that's not my specialty. My specialty and where my zone of genius is based on the holistic entrepreneur or the transformational coach, or somebody who wants to impact, a service-based coach who is either a relationship coach, mindset coach, health coach, life coach, herbalist, culinary nutritionist, nutritional therapy practitioner, right? All of these pieces are the 80% of the ideal clients that I serve. So I hope that this makes sense to you. If you would love some help around ideal client, pop in yes in the chat if you're really, really unsure. And I'm going to give you one more tip as well. here's what I did that actually was a huge eye-opener for me. When I was really struggling, before I actually learned that my ideal client was a previous version of me, here's another thing that you can do. Take 3 of your most favorite clients, even if they haven't paid you, 3 of your most favorite ideal clients. And again, I want them to be ideal clients, not just your mom, not just your sister, not just a friend, but 3 people who you've worked with that you're like, you know what, if I had 100 of, one of these 3, I would be absolutely thrilled. And then I want you to take a look at what are the similarities that they share. Typically, there's going to be a combination of similarities that you can take a look between these 3. For me, I remember one of my clients was actually a health coach, another one of my clients was actually a life coach, and another one of my clients was a massage therapist that was also in coaching. So when I looked at my favorite clients, the ones that I was so darn excited, like when I knew I had an appointment on the calendar with them, I'm like, yay! I took a look at that and I'm like, oh, they're all women wellness entrepreneurs or coaches. So I hope this has been super helpful. Let me know what your takeaway is in the comment section. And again, if you have any questions or would you like support about uncovering your ideal client, we do have a few spots left inside of Activate Abundance. It is our Business Accelerator program. I would love to invite you into a clarity call to see if this is something that might serve you. And if you just want a strategy session with me, a 90-minute strategy session to kind of help you uncover who is your ideal client, what your program promise might be, what your pricing is, we can definitely take a look at those inside of a special 90-minute session with me as well. So if you would like me to invite you into a strategy session, again, this is a special 90-minute strategy session, then let me know, type in strategy in the comments, and I will send you the details in Messenger so that you can decide whether that might serve you. All right, my friends, you have an amazing Monday, and I will see you guys back here next Monday. Be sure to check in next Monday because we've got some juicy stuff coming up. We've got an amazing summit that is coming up in October for you. We have got 19 awesome women who are going to be sharing their zone of genius. It's called the Shine Wealthy Summit. So exciting. We've got Kendall Summerhawk, we've got Fabian Fredrickson, we've got Tammy Keeves, we've got Sarah Canal, we've got Kayla Guetta. We have got so many amazing women in here. We've got Liz Nicholas, we've got Laura Mashinktono, we've got the guest experts that are inside of Activate Abundance, as well as coaches who have years and years and years of experience in this industry, and they are all going to be coming in to share their zone of genius with you. So be sure to come back next Monday. I'll be sharing the link where you can actually register for this free event. So make sure that you come back in. All right, my friends, have a great Monday. Bye.